Hello, so this is a longer slide on changing your behaviors, healthy eating. Are you thinking about being more active? Have you been trying to cut back on less healthy foods? Are you starting to eat better and move more, but having a hard time sticking with these changes? Old habits die hard. Changing your habits is a process that involves several stages. Sometimes it takes a while before change becomes new habits. And you may face roadblocks along the way. Adopting new, healthier habits may protect you from serious health problems like obesity and diabetes. New habits like healthy eating and regular physical activity may also help you manage your weight and have more energy. After a while, if you stick with these changes, they may become part of your daily routine. The information below outlines 4 stages you may go through when changing your health habits or behaviors. You will also find tips to help you improve your healthy eating, physical activity habits, or overall health. The 4 stages of changing a healthy behavior are contemplation, preparation, action, and maintenance. There's actually 5. There's actually a pre-contemplation you aren't ready to wear. So I have the 5 stages here. So pre-contemplation, you aren't aware that there isn't even a problem. Contemplation, you are aware that there is a problem and you are starting to consider making a change. Preparation, you are intending to take action and make preparations. Action, you take action. And then maintenance, you are maintaining actions in the long term. So these go a little bit more in depth on it. So what stage of change, are you in? Contemplation, I'm thinking about change. In this first stage, you are thinking about change and becoming motivated to get started. You might be in this stage if you have been considering change but are not quite ready to start. Believe that your health, energy level, overall well-being will improve if you develop new habits. I'm not sure how you will overcome the roadblocks that may keep you from starting to change. Preparation, I have made up my mind to take action. In this next stage, you are making plans and thinking of specific ideas that will work for you. You might be in this stage if you have decided that you are going to change and are ready to take action, have set some specific goals that you would like to meet, or are ready to put your plan into action. Action. I have started to make changes. In the third stage, you are acting on your plan and making the changes you set out to achieve. You might be in this stage if you have been making healthy eating, physical activity, and other behavior changes in the last 6 months or so, are adjusting to how it feels to eat healthier, be more active, and make other changes such as getting more sleep or reducing screen time. Have been trying to overcome things that sometimes block your success. Maintenance. I have a new routine. In this final stage, you have become used to your changes and have kept them for more than 6 months. You might be in this stage if your changes have become a part of your normal routine. You have found creative ways to stick with your routine. You have had slip-ups and setbacks, but have been able to get past them and make progress. Did you find your stage of change here? Okay. And then I'm going to move on to this, which talks about the 6 easy steps to changing a behavior. Modifying behavior is a key tool for initiating change in any organization. Your employees should do better because of your actions and influence, not without or despite your influence. Changing behavior isn't easy, and it doesn't happen overnight, but it is possible, and it will impact your organization because more people will continue to act as they always have. Often behavior must be changed before improvement can be made. And leaders become frustrated because logical, common sense solutions don't always bring change. 1. Define the behavior based on specific observable behavior. A non-specific definition could be he has a bad attitude. A good definition could be openly complains about other employees, submits incomplete work. So when we're talking about eating healthy with this, instead of just saying, I eat junk food, narrow it down. I eat a lot of salty junk food, usually at night. Set the objective to increase or decrease the behavior. Think small, a slight change or decrease is a modification. Not all behaviors can or will be immediately stopped or started. Make one change at a time. For example, begin with one of the 4 good definitions above. Don't attempt to change all at once. And then award a reprimand to modify the behavior. Positive reinforcement, rewards for behavioral changes. Negative reinforcement, reprimand for not changing behaviors. So, like, if I've lost weight in the past, every week, if I've lost weight, I'll let myself have one day where I can do, And then 4th, implementation of the plan. Be consistent. Don't praise one day and not the next, or extinguish on one day time, then become frustrated and lash out the next. Therefore, it's important to consistently praise positive behavior. Combined consequences below is an example of combined consequences for a team that use negativity to gain attention. Tell the team and management to ignore negative comments. Give a written reprimand for extremely negative and inappropriate behavior. So then we have 5, reinforce all positive behavior immediately. You also want to make sure you're tracking the plan here, so this can be tracked. It can be observed, how will we track it, when, who, and then evaluate the plan before beginning and double check. Does the plan keep adjustments small, concentrating on one change at a time? And some of the questions here, you can pause here and look at some of these questions if you'd like. Are you up to the challenge of trying it yourself? And this is personal growth motivation, the drive to change. Do you have the drive to change your life? Motivation can be defined in the following ways. An internal or external drive that prompts a person to action. The ability to initiate and persist toward a chosen objective. Putting 100% of your time, effort, energy, and focus into your goal attainment. Being able to pursue change in the face of obstacles, boredom, fatigue, stress, and the desire to do other things. The determination to resist ingrained and unhealthy patterns and habits. Doing everything you can to make the changes you want in your life. Motivation is so important because it impacts every aspect of your efforts to change. Preparations to make the changes, patience in giving yourself time for the changes to occur, persistence when old habits and patterns resist your efforts, perseverance in overcoming obstacles and setbacks, lifestyle that supports the change and ultimate achievement of the desired change. So there's a motivation matrix here for every person. There is a different motivation that drives them toward their change goals. The motivation matrix breaks down motivation along 2 dimensions, internal versus external and positive versus negative. The resulting 4 quadrants can each provide motivation, but will produce different experiences and outcomes. So internal positive, challenge, desire, passion, satisfaction, self-validation, likely outcome, successful change, fulfillment. External positive, recognition and appreciation from others, financial rewards, likely outcome, some change, partial fulfillment, dependent on others for continued change and good feelings. Internal negative, threat, fear, failure, inadequacy, insecurity, likely outcome, some change, possible relapse. External negative, fear of the loss of job or relationship, insufficient respect from others, financial or social pressure, pressure from significant others, unstable life. Likely outcome, some success, high risk of relapse. So when you're thinking about the motivational matrix, for me, for example, for my health, it's the internal positive. If I lose the weight, I know that I will feel satisfaction with myself, and I have a strong desire to lose weight and eat healthier. So this is the last slide on finding the motivation. Finding the motivation to change means maintaining your efforts consistently when it would be easy to give up. It involves doing everything possible to achieve your change goals. Motivation to change begins with what I like to call the 3Ds. The first D stands for direction. Before you can begin the process of change, you must first consider the different directions you can go in your life. You could continue life as it is now, make immediate and dramatic changes, or take a slower route to change. The second D represents decision. With these three choices of direction, you must decide on one direction in which to go. None of these directions is necessarily right or wrong, better or worse. They're simply your options. Your choice will dictate whether you make changes in your life and the amount of time and effort you put into these changes. Third D stands for dedication. Once you've made your decision, you must dedicate yourself to it. If your decision is to make significant changes in your life, whether quickly or slowly, then this last step will determine whether those changes are realized. Your decision to change will then become a top priority in your life. Only by being completely dedicated to your direction and decision will you ensure that you have the motivation you will need to achieve your goals and change your goals. So this is all for this. I hope you liked it. Thanks for listening.